I found these really useful. It's kind of scary when you start off, you know, trying to find your way and trying to find people that you need to get to know. The networking is really good. Although I was studying in Plymouth, I didn't really know anybody in Exeter, so the networking here has been really useful. And the other thing that's helpful is kind of support that you get from other people, and you know you're not kind of on your own. I find it really helpful, and I've already made the connections. And it's lots of different fields. I'm a glass maker, lots of artists, but there's people in performance art, etc., who are also, you know, have been really useful to get to know.
Before we talk about finding an audience, it has to be said a little bit upstream of finding an audience is preparing to find an audience. To find an audience, you need to prepare in a way that you have a good story to tell. Something unique, something that's original, most of all, something that's authentic. So you have to think long and hard about how are you going to be unique. You might tell a story in a way that's something familiar, but in a new way. Because if it's familiar, by definition, you're accessible. First thing is, don't assume an audience. Assuming an audience is not a strategy. You have to think in terms of an overall plan. If you're just starting out, or maybe you've been an artist for a few years and you want to kind of notch up, you have to have a plan. So I sat down and I did a 3-year plan. And I said, okay, first year I want to accomplish this. Very important when you do a plan, set achievable objectives. Then you come up with a strategy, right? How am I going to do that? At the end of year 1, I want to do this. How am I going to achieve that? After a while, it may be going according to plan. It may not. You have to say, well, is my plan making any sense? Is it working? Is it working? And if it isn't working, the first thing you're probably going to do is try harder, right? If it's not working, I'll try harder. Before you do that, think about it. You may have the wrong strategy. Trying harder won't work. Be objective, look at your strategy and say, is it working? If it isn't, change it. Because it's a circular process, right? You have a goal, you have a strategy, you have tactics, and then you go back again, revise it, revise it, revise it. When you first start, there are people out there, and you're over here, and there's no connection, right? But at some point, you meet. Once you meet, you now have a connection. And connections are personal. And if you can build on that, that is really the secret of making a strong audience, right? And keeping it. Think about public relations first before you think about advertising. Because a lot of public relations is free. Now, advertising, what do you do? Advertising for me is kind of a last resort. It's expensive. You never run an ad. You run a campaign. It's got to be part of a bigger picture. When you look at going into the arts, it's a funny sort of game, really, because you think about it, you know, getting recognition is difficult. It's not easy to get recognition. You have to work hard to get recognition. The other thing is you probably are not going to get rich. I always say, never go in the arts to make money, you know. It's the best life that I know. If you're driven to do it, then you can do it. But you have to be driven. Thank you. Thank you. Lynn.
I think I've been asked to talk to you about the social media because as a little old lady, I was rather resistant to social media. It's totally out of my, well, I thought it was totally out of my comfort zone. I don't like computers much, but as I work at Double Elephant, my colleagues decided that Double Elephant should have a Facebook page, and then it got a Twitter page, and then it got Instagram as well, and I couldn't bear to have all these people having fantastic conversations and me not knowing what they're talking about. So I reluctantly got involved and actually found that it did suit me. What is social media good for? What can you use it for? What kinds of social media platform might suit your personality and your art form better than others? And what kind of people and organisations would be useful for you to connect with? I read recently a statement that if you're not taking advantage of the wide range of opportunities available to you on social media to discover and to promote yourself and your artwork, you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage. It's like everybody's doing it now, and if you want to get noticed and you're not doing it, unless you've got this fantastic personal connections, or maybe you're with galleries already that are shouting out for you or whatever, it really does help. Doing social media as an artist, whatever sort you are, is a bit different than doing social media for Tesco's. It's a lot more personal. These are your babies that you're putting out there, and people like to connect with the artist as a person, as a personality. Quite often when people buy your work, they are actually buying a little bit of the artist. So it is more personal, and you do need a mixture of things, not just the promotion, end product. As James was saying, telling a story, getting little glimpses of the work in development or behind the scenes. It needs that sort of mixture for you to become a rounded personality. It builds up people's confidence in you and who you are. If you respond to people's questions, if you're being sort of active on there, people are more confident in you. And these people that you're drawing to yourself through your social media, they're your advocates. They're the ones that tell other people how brilliant you are. And this audience that you will gradually be forming, as I say, they're your advocates. Some of them might be potential customers. Some of them are better just for saying how brilliant you are, because they share what you're doing, they like on it. You may have a brilliant website. In fact, it's good to have your own website. It's also a brilliant showcase where you can show your talent. You're not just talking about it, you're showing it. It becomes part of your branding. If you've got a particular look on your business card or whatever else you might have developed already, use that look on your different social media platforms. You want to give it a good diet of promotional material and other connected, interesting things. Present yourself as the professional artist you want to be.